Back from the conference now. I want to see what the lads have been up to while I've been away. Hopefully they've been working and the workshop looks mint as well. Just a quick scan around the shed. The fast track is now fixed and all the steps and everything has been put back on. So that new sensor was put on it and it didn't need sort of recalibrating. It just learned that it was working and it had a new sensor, because we wasn't sure if they'd have to come back and plug a laptop into it to make it work, but it didn't. It's fine. So that's all good. A little summary of the conference. So we had a guy this morning, Theo Jaeger, who is the president of the World Farming Organization. He did a talk this morning. It was brilliant. And one of the things he come out, can't even speak. One of the things he said was that all agricultural policy and decisions should always be based on science, because then in 10 years time they'll all still be relevant. So if you base some agricultural policy on like emotion or whatever is sort of trendy at the time, then it could then end up out of date in 10 years time when people realise things are different, whereas science doesn't change, or it shouldn't change. I hope it's not too windy, but we've got a live birthday bumper. So if your name is on there, happy birthday. And also Christine's put something on about biscuits and the tractor on. So thanks for that, and also thanks to Charlie Willis for donating biscuits for the tractor on. I'm a bit confused because it's just written on when I got back. So the pile of tree waste is getting bigger at the moment because the digger is still at the other yard, because it was up there screening all that soil. So we need to bring the digger back, get the grab on it, get some of that through that chipper. The flood is still massive. We're going to have another look now, but it gets windy when I get to that side of the yard, so I'll tell you about it now. Was it Sunday it appeared again? It's now Wednesday, so it's not subsiding much. We'll go down. Not as big as it was perhaps, but still fairly sizable. I don't know, 3 or 4 acres. The other day it was nearly going behind them trees there. But that wheat, I don't expect it to survive this time. I mean, it was yellow the other time when it cleared. Been quite a bit of chip going out today, so Sam's been loading chip. Andrew and Robin have been on another sprayer course, so they think they've got some tests tomorrow, so good luck to them for that, hopefully. Bit of metal in the yard, move that out of the way. Beans have also been going out, so they've been loading beans. I think my dad, Sam, have also been loading beans out the shed, so they'll probably be pretty much tidied up. I think next week, I think they might be coming for the last load. Then we'll have a bit more space then, and we could probably start drying chip then on these floors, because we've had some beans stored on them temporary at the moment. DYNO meter results from the other night, so it was a bit of a quiz question yesterday. So the 7710 6-cylinder engine, it put out 155 horsepower at the PTO, so with a little bit of loss you'd probably expect that to be sort of punching out about 170 maybe at the crank of the engine, because with the PTO losses. The MB track, 103 horsepower, which I'm really surprised at, because it really does sound lively. I think they were only supposed to be 100 horsepower anyway. Someone will probably correct me on that, but an MB track 1000. But yeah, 103 horsepower on that, so a bit of engine loss on that from the crank to the PTO. Probably be, I don't know, it could be about nearly 120 perhaps at the engine, at the crank. Then fast track didn't go. The whole combined horsepower of everything is 345 horsepower, which is similar to what the 936 is on its own, but 3 tractors added up to it. So Rob's maximum at the back, I think that was 87 at the PTO, so that's probably pushing out about 105 maybe at the engine. So they were big tractors when I was a kid. It's just nuts how things have gone. But also equally, that tractor, the MB track and the 7710 combined add up to only similar to what the 936 is. The last 936 we put on a dynameter, I think, was 376 as well at the shaft, so that was fairly lively. It wasn't modified either. Be nice to get that thing on it and see what that performs at. Probably see if we can do something where we get the dynameter down here for the day, and then other people could bring some of the tracks, or maybe Joe could bring some of the T7s up, and we'll see what they're like as well, and have a bit of a play with it. Coming back from the conference, you actually walk through Birmingham. Amazing place now. Lots of sort of like sprucing up over the last few years. It's all pedestrianised zones, some real big buildings, so there's a quick look at them. And also 2 cameo appearances, so some of you might recognise one of them from a few weeks ago and a few weeks before that, and then also someone else is in there whose kids watch the videos, and we farm where his granddad used to farm, so see if you recognise them anyway. And
hello. How are you?
Oh, hi, Miss Liz.
This is David from Midlands today. We found him on the Teddington. I was watching him in the shower. Well, I was in the shower.
So this is Derek Wilkinson. So now we farm some of the land where his dad used to farm, and his son
is Harry Wilkinson.
And he watches the videos.
And Harry watches the videos, and Ollie, you are his star.
There we go.
Resilient food production and ensure that farmers are not ripped off by cowboys in city suits and whaling boots. One project we are supporting with the Fairbairn Foundation, DEFRA and Triodos Bank UK is restoring peatlands in the Pennines. These are some of the most degraded in Europe. The more to the future.
What we wanted to do with the business. And again, if we stop still, that's when we start getting a bit low or business isn't doing very well. And with the children liaison work, it gave us another opportunity. Like, we can either just sit here moaning, we're very good at moaning, even if it's just about the weather, or we can actually do something about this. I think maybe we're adrenaline junkies. I've told Peter this is it, this is the end of this adrenaline journey, but I mean, it's a very fast-moving industry. We've got places we can take the blueberries. But I think what keeps our well-being is by keep driving our business forward. And we meet so many interesting people along the journey. We've seen some fantastic farms, and that's what gets us out there and gets us through.
Departmental working is something that should be the norm across government, but too often we see it break down between governments. And I think what we saw yesterday on the seasonal workers scheme is another example of that, where we've got two departments that clearly aren't functioning as we would like to see for the future. I've got another question before I go to the microphones from David Lord, and I am just going to give a plug to the AHDB Shape the Future vote. But any of you that want to take part in that are levy players, please do register for the HDB vote, because there is an opportunity to get involved and to shape the future. This question is about knowledge exchange, and I think making sure that we have an active role in shaping the future of that organisation, to make sure it's fit for purpose for you for the future, is absolutely crucial. So please do take that opportunity. But how do you currently learn and exchange knowledge between your peers? What do you think the best way is for facilitating knowledge exchange between farmers to address the many challenges ahead? I'm going to come over to you, Emily. You're researching new businesses at the moment, new ideas. Where are you going for that information? How are you setting about that?
So we've actually been really lucky living in Northamptonshire. We have a food and drink group called Made in Northamptonshire. It is all small producers, artisan companies that have been through the exact same process we are going through.
And we've kind of got the relationship with them, whereas if we've got a problem, we'll just ring them. And I think so. Farmer to farmer learning is just amazing. And I think I used to work for HDB and do knowledge exchange. And when you get a group of farmers together and they talk about not only the good things, but it's the bad things when things go wrong. I think it's really good.
It's quite windy, isn't it? The other thing as well that happened at the conference was there was obviously an election, so Minette is now still the president, then I think Tom Bradshaw is now second in command, and then David Exwood is now third in command, so well done to them. Stuart has now stood down, who used to be the deputy chairman, so he's going off to pastures new, but he won't tell anyone what it is, so we're all going to guess. Anyway, thanks for everyone that's watched today. Another mismatch, back to normal tomorrow. I'm back, and hopefully get some spraying done. I think Bill wants me to do a bit of spraying for him because he's got his spray is off getting fixed. I can't speak today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm just tired, or I've been talking to people for 2 days and that's why. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Hello.